Hi there, it's Shana from Fitz Media Productions and you're tuning in to A Good Chat. I'm joined with Liz Water from Water East Timor, and you have just come back from a trip. Tell us about the trip.
So four of us went to Timor-Leste, as it's now known, East Timor as we've always known it in Australia. We're all part of the Water East Timor committee, and it had been a while since any of us had been over, and I certainly hadn't been before, but it had been a while since any of us had been over to have a look at the projects that we help fund over there. Yeah, that's what we did. So we had 5 days in the country, and basically we were travelling between the villages where our team has done the work.
And Liz, what was it like heading over there and seeing what you've helped raise funds for quite some time, but seeing it for the first time in your own eyes?
It's amazing. It was amazing. It's an extraordinary country, Shana. I don't think I was prepared for how mountainous it is. The highest peak, Mount Ramelau, is 2.6, which is actually quite high, you know, when you think about the Himalayas and the big ones that they climb. But there's a lot of the rest of the country is quite mountainous as well. And it's beautiful, you know, it really is beautiful. The coastal fringe is beautiful, and it's so close to Australia. You know, the flight from Darwin is an hour and a quarter.
Oh. So
it's kind of like nothing.
Not much distance then.
We're hardly up in the air and we're back down again.
Probably takes longer to get to Darwin from here than it does.
Oh, it does. It's 4.5 hours from here from Melbourne to Darwin.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's I think quite extraordinary that we as a country, as people, know so little about Timor-Leste, and yet it's just up there, you know.
Yeah.
And it really is beautiful. So it was wonderful to see. It was really interesting to travel around to the different villages and to see the projects that we've worked on. Some of the ones that we visited, so particularly to a village called Letifaho and another one called Asalau, where the projects, you know, we've done them a few years ago, you know, so they've been completed for a few years.
Yeah.
And and it was great to see them looking in really good condition.
Yeah.
And so basically, at Letifaho, there were toilets built and hand basins put in, some water supplies bought from a spring, and at Asalau, the team had tapped a spring and brought polypiping down from the spring to standing water tanks, and that gave water to the village of Asalau.
The main thing that you do is ensuring that these communities are receiving hygienic water. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
So being able to get fresh water supplies to the villages. You know, for a lot of the more remote villages, they don't have access to anything other than a spring that's quite often up in the mountains. And so generally what happens in that case is that the kids walk up to the spring, you know, with kind of jerry cans, fill them up with the fresh water from the spring, and then bring them down to the family for the day.
Wow. Every day?
Every day. Which basically means they don't go to school.
Sure.
And so, because they can't, it's, you know, quite often 3 or 4 hours of that sort of trip up and back down again.
Gosh.
Able to get fresh water down to the village means that the kids can go to school. And then being able to get toilets and hand washing facilities into the school means that, you know, that the hygiene is much better.
So essentially you're giving them the water, but then you're also giving them the opportunity to take their education even further.
That's right.
Providing them what is one stone but hitting 2 birds.
Exactly. And for one of the other projects that we visited, which is in fact the latest one that the team have completed in a village called Bobonaro, we they built toilets there that would service the boarding school, and so previous to these new toilets being put in, the boarding school was the actual toilets for the boarding school were not functional, and so they were sharing the toilets with the primary school. It was just not enough. Like, it was pretty awful. And there was certainly no separation of girls and boys. We're talking about secondary school here. And so, of course, when the girls had their period, they didn't go to school. When the female teachers had their period, they didn't go to school. So being able to get separate toilet facilities in, hand washing basins, those sorts of things, it was fantastic. It was great to see that.
Bell's Garden Centre has the largest range of sand and soil products in the southwest. People choose Bell's because you can't buy experience, and Bell's has plenty. With bulk product delivery available across the southwest, for your next project, it's gotta be Bell's.
Is it time to upgrade that outdoor chair? How's your tent holding up? Need a gazebo for that special gathering? George Taylor Stores carry all the summertime essentials that you need to make this summer the best. We'll answer your questions and have you ready in no time at George Taylor Stores.
VG Cabinets is your specialist cabinetry team, servicing Warrnambool and surrounding areas. With over 20 years' experience, the team here can get your cabinetry needs sorted. Housing a CNC router to make sure all the cuts in the workshop are accurate for a perfect install on site. VG Cabinets cover all areas, including kitchens, vanities, laundries, flat packs, stone bench tops, and new homes and renovations. We offer free quotes on any job, so don't hesitate to call Lee on 0408 580 991.
Those things for us here in Australia as neighbouring countries are not even something we blink an eye at.
Exactly.
What was that like going over, an hour trip off of Australia and seeing something make such a huge impact to people's lives?
It is just wonderful to be able to see that, and the people are just incredibly grateful for that, which is actually really humbling. And because, as you say, we take this just for granted. It's just a daily thing.
Yes.
No one even thinks about it. And so to be able to help the villagers, to be able to get clean fresh water, both for drinking and for their cooking, and also then clean toilets and hand washing facilities is fantastic.
And so for Liz, for you, how long have you been a part of Water for East Timor?
So I joined the committee in about halfway through 2023, so not very long. Some of our committee members, and in fact, Eve Bailey, who established the organisation about 20 years ago, so have been part of the committee for a very long time. So it's been going for that long. We roughly do one project a year, which basically means, one village that we've put freshwater facilities or toilet facilities or both into a year, so 20 projects over that period of time, and essentially all of the funds that we raise as a small committee go to directly to the work that's done.
Last year, for your fundraiser, you had two special guests
We
that
did.
were incredible to listen to. Paulie Stewart and the First Lady
Yes.
of Timor-Leste. That's incredible.
Yes, it was. It was wonderful, and they were both great speakers.
Very different, by the way.
Very different.
Very different characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Paulie, of course, his brother was one of what's commonly known as the Balibo Five, so the Australian journalists who were murdered by the Indonesians. When we were travelling through Timor, we went through Balibo. The house where the journalists were murdered, where they'd been living and where they were murdered, is now known as Australia House, and it's set up as a museum. So it was really interesting to see that. There's a lot of quite difficult history, for the Timorese. They've had a really, really tough time. Yeah. And to see them, really, really living strong lives now is fantastic. Population's very young because a lot of the population was killed or were stolen, died during those war years. So it was, it's been really hard for them.
First lady on the panel, that would have been, how did you even pull those strings?
I think someone wrote her a letter and asked if she would mind coming and speaking to us. She runs a foundation called the Alola Foundation, which basically provides employment opportunities for women in Timor-Leste. They produce lots of handicrafts and really beautiful handicrafts, which are sold through Kirsty Sword Guzman's foundation to help to provide a wage, to provide a job for those women.
Around 100 people attended last year. Are you hoping for the same attendance for this year's event?
Yeah, we would love to have that many people again. We can certainly fit that number, and we've got some guests that I think people really should, if they can, make an effort to be there to see the group who are playing.
And the group that are playing, they've performed around the Southwest before. They're familiar on stage at the folk festival.
That's right.
They've been at the Dart and Marlin performing before as well. They're no stranger to the stage.
That's right.
But they do bring an incredible show. What else should we expect from the night?
So Water East Timor is the name of the group. They're local so they're local Timorese who are here working, most of them at Midfield Meets, but a few in other places as well. And they're extraordinary musicians, extraordinary dancers, beautiful singers, and it's just a really vibrant performance that they put on. They'll sing some traditional songs, so some traditional Timorese songs, and I'm sure they'll sing a few other bits and pieces that might be more familiar to Australian audiences. But they really do have, they're extraordinary musicians, they've got great voices. They get people up and dance, which is just lovely. It's actually really joyful.
And the art of dance is definitely worth connecting over for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Liz, for those that do want to attend and want to get amongst this and help support the work of the Water East Timor group, how do they do that?
So the event is called Festa Timor, and it's on Saturday the 8th of November. It starts at 5:30 and it'll go for 2-3 hours, thereabouts. The tickets are $35. That includes a complimentary a complimentary drink and some nibbles and food, and of course the performance of Water East Timor. We're also launching our new website, so it'll be an opportunity for us to be able to show our guests that night both the website but also something of what we've been doing, because there's lots of fabulous photos and stories on the website about what we've been doing over there. And so basically to get tickets, it's available through Humantix. So you can Google Humantix and find the event there, or through our website or our Facebook page.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Liz. And the work that you guys are doing is clearly changing lives. So congratulations and well done.
Thank you. Thanks, Sean.